Why do you think you could fuck me up? That's what I'm like. Why do you think?
I never said. I never said
he did.
And I almost hit up this Egyptian boxing coach. Like, yo, we got a fight coming up. Like, we really got to get after it. Hossam Abdin, we have a fight.
You're an athletic guy. You're an athletic guy. You don't have my experience, and you
what experience?
You'd have to pack a lunch.
How many fights you got?
I mean, I did a lot of
like legit
kickboxing.
fights.
How many smokers? You ever have a smoker or anything?
He has smokers.
But I actually fought a lot in
I have
in
more experience.
But he has more smokers.
I fought in college. I fought a lot of around the country in tournaments.
Karate.
Those are smokers.
It was kickboxing, punching, kicking to the head.
Since when?
It's
the first I've ever heard of.
And by the way, it was full contact, all full contact. That's where
you do.
So this is real.
No takedowns. But I was a wrestler. I wrestled, for most of my life.
If you fought against another guy, and there was something to be won, not just sparring, but like something to be won, you have way more experience than me if you did tournaments around the country.
Yes, I do. I have a lot more experience.
Even though when you said that, you and I and Brendan didn't believe it. But you did say it. Like,
I'm not buying it at all.
Believed it.
Yeah, you would say. I mean, if you really ask him without ribbing,
I wouldn't say you toured all over the country fighting.
But I did when I was in college.
But that's the
I've never heard. That's the first I've heard.
That's what I did.
I'm just saying.
You want to hear something even better? In 1988, I won the American Taekwondo Championships.
Taekwondo I know. But in college, what was the association?
We were actually punching.
What was the association?
American Taekwondo Association.
So it's Taekwondo.
Yeah.
That's completely different than actually boxing, fighting.
No, I know, but we were fighting full contact
in Taekwondo.
Yes.
Okay.
But wait, the only difference was, I think the reason I won, not because I was good, but we were practicing, like we would throw hands like boxers.
Yeah,
we were doing that.
Then it's not typical Taekwondo, because Taekwondo you're not allowed to throw hooks. No,
it wasn't at all.
You just said it was Taekwondo.
It wasn't at all typical. So Taekwondo most of the time is point fighting. I never did point fighting once. The tournaments I was in, people were kicking and trying to knock each other out and getting knocked out, and so there was a little bit of a difference. But the reason I never talk about it, the only reason you never heard about it is that, very simply, I've said this before. You'll never hear me talk about my Taekwondo days, and here's why. Because we never punched to the face. And if you don't punch to the face and just to the body in tournaments, it doesn't count to me. Now, I boxed a lot in a gym and sparred.
I'm almost positive you said you were punching to the face about 60 seconds ago. 60 to 120 seconds ago.
There's a lot of holes.
There's a lot of holes.
I did train.
The biggest hole is this. Nobody in history has ever said this sentence. I toured the country fighting. Nobody's ever said that. That's not.
It sounds like comedy, right? It sounds like comedy.
It seems like
I toured the company. Two things. I toured the company, giving speeches and fighting.
And then he's so defensive. Yeah. He's defensive about it too.
I've never talked about it. You've never heard me talk about it because I don't. I
think you're a professional comedian. I think you've been a professional comedian for decades, and you're conflating those two things.
I like where you're thinking. I like where you're thinking. Yeah. Here's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go through my whole fight pedigree. Judo as a kid, where I did do tournaments. Not a big deal.
Well, what age?
Wrestling.
What age judo?
Starting at like 9. That's what got me into wrestling. So I went to America for the first time at 14 and became a wrestler. Wrestled all 4 years in high school. In earnest. Went to Dan Gable's camp. And then, and then.
Hold on. How successful a wrestler were you in high school?
I was really good, to be honest with you.
State champ.
So I took third in the All New Englands at MIT, and the All New England tournament was a tournament where everybody from public school and all the private schools would go to wrestle. So I took third there. Wow. And then I
took weight class?
139, I think, in my senior year, and then. I was seeded 16th at the Nationals in Lehigh. 16th is not a big deal. It's like that's not even worth mentioning. So I was okay. I was a pretty good wrestler. And then the guy I'd beaten at American University, which was a D1 program, I had beaten, and he was starting. So I went to wrestle there. And then
not on scholarship though.
No.
So you walked on.
I walked on, but I didn't even walk on. I think I gave myself a psychosomatic back injury. And then I saw these guys kicking and punching on a level I'd never seen. And I was like, I want to learn how to do that. So I do martial arts. And guess what I learned? Here's another thing I never talk about. I realized that for me to be good at Taekwondo or full contact, kickboxing or whatever, I had to set up patterns, and I realized that there were guys that could beat me with no problem, and I was like, I'll never be a champion at this shit. Every time you go to practice in my studio, you could get knocked out, so you're always fucking nervous. It was always scary. Always. A little bit. That's why whenever like I would box and Wayne McCulloch would go, "You're sparring today," I'd be like, "Oh fuck." Remember I said to you, I'm getting dizzy because I was getting hit too much. And you were like, "Keep it up, dude, at your age."
I did taekwondo for 1 week. My dad signed me up for it. I went, "This is gay," and I walked out.
Yeah. But where I was doing what I was doing, it was pretty. Those guys can kick your head off, and it was pretty good, and we were fighting. But the point is, I've done enough of it. I'm a Henso blue belt in jiu-jitsu. I still roll.
What's up, Schulz?
Still box now.
What's up, bro?
Talk
that shit now, dog.
But I'm an old man. But jiu-jitsu. I'm also old.
With jiu-jitsu, we're not talking about. I don't know how to do jiu-jitsu. That shit is mad uncomfortable. Yeah. Like
I saw you
everything about it is just uncomfortable.
Schulz has been boxing for a while.
Anybody can hit mitts.
Yeah.
I think that if you have a decent amount of coordination, you can hit mitts.
Yes.
So I don't know how much we can tell about hitting mitts.
You can't always bring up mitts.
No, I'm saying I saw you hitting mitts, but it's not boxing.
No.
The biggest difference for me, at least that I've experienced when it comes for boxing, my very little experiences is when I was boxing back in the day in college. Is just comfort while punches are being thrown at you.
Yes.
How comfortable are you sitting in there? How comfortable are you with distance and that kind of stuff? So if what you're saying is you've been in these tournaments where people are punching you in the face, and I don't know if they are doing that.
No, you can't punch to the face.
That's why I never talk about
punch.
So just kicking. If there's no punching to the face,
just to the body,
I'm gonna maul you. I'm gonna absolutely.
No. Hold on. Hold it.
Been in a situation where you're getting punched in the face.
Did a lot of sparring.
That's different.
No, did a lot of sparring where I was punching in the face. A lot of sparring.
I don't know. I mean, how hard are we talking about?
Well, we gotta get Wayne. I'll let you talk to Wayne McCulloch, who used to throw me in there with a lot of guys.
We talk about practice right now. We're talking about practice.
Wayne McCulloch was a world champion. He was my teacher.
We talk about practice.
I would spar a lot. So I'm pretty comfortable in that arena. If you and I are going to go at it, it's going to be, you're going to have your hands full. I'll give you that.
I might.
Look, you're
I genuinely might.
You're a tall kid. I got to get under your jab, but I'm gonna give you some problems.
Schulz is too successful now to do it.
Tell me how it's gonna go.
That's the bummer.
This is how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feint my jab at your head, and then I'm just going to start popping you to the stomach.
Really?
And then you're just going to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm just going to touch you, and then you're going to realize that the distance is a lot further than you thought it was.
It's a problem for you. The distance is a problem. Yeah.
And then I'm going to start hitting you upstairs because those arms are going to come down.
Oh, I see.
But I'm not going to really... exactly. So I'm not going to really release anything.
You're going to pepper me.
Then I'm just... Yeah, I'm just pepper. I'm not even going to throw the right hand. No. I'm not really going to throw the right hand.
That's a threat. That's here. That's sitting here. Yeah.
It's nothing. It's not even doing anything.
Right.
I don't even know if I have the footwork at this point to
you
really
play basketball,
drop it.
So you got some footwork. You're younger, a little. You're not as straight as sports.
This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to, instead of throwing the jab, I'm going to open up and I'm going to throw kind of like a soft hook. It's not even to be that big.
I got you.
And the right hand is going to follow it. And then we're going to stop sparring. That's going to be.
Now let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
When I'm getting under your jab and I'm punishing your midsection.
There's no getting under the jab. There's no getting under the jab.
Okay.
There's no punishing the midsection.
No,
there's no getting.
But you got a lot of midsection.
Getting under.
I feel like your midsection is a whole country of possibilities, and I mean.
I'm all legs. No, I know. You're going to see my legs spread.
Right.
And you're going to see the distance with the arms, and you're just going to go, what was I thinking?
Right. What if I catch angles though? If I start stepping to the side, now I'm throwing, and I've been throwing a long time. I've been throwing my hands a long time, so now my balance is a little better than you thought.
I think both of you break your noses though. Let's just say that.
We'll spar with a bar. Let's spar with a bar.
I'm wearing the fucking I'm wearing a
pterodactyl.
Maybe football helmets. You know what I
mean? Nothing's getting hurt here.
By the way, one of the problems with boxing is that if you're in boxing, I would feel very awkward actually punching you in the face because I like you. I'd feel awkward.
It does get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I went through that as well when I would like spar with guys that I liked, where it's like I either had to be really close friends with you and you know that I wouldn't hurt you and like we were good.
Yeah.
But the people that I was like kind of friends with, I felt really weird. Like if I would crack them,
Me too.
I wouldn't feel weird when they hit me, weirdly enough. And they would. I would get hit all the fucking time.
Yep.
But I would feel that it's the strangers I felt more comfortable sparring.
Yes, it would be very awkward.
Just felt better.
I would get no satisfaction from like hooking you and actually hurting you where you have to take a second. That doesn't make me feel good.
That's why the pros that we would pay guys.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, all right, if I knock him out, at least he's getting paid.
Yes.
You knock him out, he's at least getting a check.
Yeah, because two jokers
$100,
like us,
but
you and I might start swinging and somebody's going to connect and then somebody gets like you're having trouble chewing or it's like, oh, fuck.